Hi, I'm John Mendoza with Dozer's Workshop, and I thought I'd give you a quick little review today about my Black & Decker DR250B Corded Hand Drill. Now, of course, I've been using this guy for about 3 years now, and I use it way more than I probably would if my Black & Decker cordless drill would charge, but that's another story. So, let's go ahead and jump right into a review, because you know the best way to find out about a tool is to hear reviews from people who actually use it, and use it well. So, performance. Now this is a 3/8 inch drill. Okay, it's got a 5.2 amp motor that runs on 120 volts, so obviously just plugs into the normal household socket. So it's not going to take any of your 1/2 inch drill bits. So there's still plenty of 3/8 inch drill bits out there for you to use. Now, any of my normal drilling tasks, it's had no problems with just a straight twist drill bit and use the heck out of it. I love to get into tight spaces and everything, so that's why it's painted white on the end. That's actually a part of the wall. But I thought I'd get a little industrious one day while tiling the bathrooms and use a mortar mixing paddle in my bucket of mortar. Well, this drill is not meant for something that heavy duty. It's started to wisp off a little bit of smoke for me, and it had that nice electrical burning smell, so I put it down for a couple of days and came back to it, and it works just fine. So it hasn't seemed to die on me yet. Design. Now, the design of it is, it's made in China. It does have a lot of plastic, and it's got a good feel to it. It is pretty well balanced for my hand. It doesn't seem to throw me over to the side whenever I'm using it. So design's not too bad. The only problem I've had with it is I've had one problem with it and one thing I'd like to see a little better. The reverse key on this sometimes decides that it doesn't quite work. So I'd say once a month whenever I'm using this, I have to switch the slider back and forth to get it to re-engage, because sometimes it'll just sit just wrong and the drill will act like it's completely dead or completely unplugged. But just slide the reverse switch back and forth a couple of times and it'll go ahead and start right back up for you. The only thing I'd like to see different about the particular design, I mean, it feels nice, it works good, but the chuck's really fat. And I like to do a lot of tight space drilling, so I've seen chucks on other machines that seem to have more of a taper to them. You can get into tighter spots, and with this last project I did with running some wires through a wall, that would have really come in handy. But, so, design, I gave it a 4. Quality. It's held up for me pretty good, and I've put it through some abuse. I've definitely not been too nice to it. So it doesn't do too bad, but once again it's got a lot of plastic to it, and with my little whiffs of smoke there that I had, I know that it's not the best built in the world, so do have to bear that in mind whenever you're using it. Quality wise, I went ahead and gave it a 3, because it's not quite an industrial machine. It's great for household use, but I don't know that I'd want to get more in depth to it than that. For value though, that's where I had to tip it off to the end of the scale. I gave value a pretty dang high marking. Now granted, I got this as a Christmas gift, but of course whenever I found out how much it costs, it's in the $30 range, 30 to 40. It's really a great buy. Now, if I'd have had to rent a drill or, buy a more expensive one, this one has handled up to almost everything that I needed to do for around the house. Now, if I wouldn't have taken on remodeling projects and tried to take shortcuts, then it would have done even better. So for around the house use, I'd definitely give this one a 5 for value, just because it's not a lot of money and it's a piece of equipment that's going to handle anything that you're going to throw at it for a household use. And this is a good little piece of machinery for what I need it for here around the house, but as I get more in depth into bigger projects, I'm probably going to have to upgrade. But I really doubt I'm ever going to get rid of this little guy. It'll probably stick around and be a nice go-to for having a spare or something, just chucked up with something small just to go ahead and sit there and be ready whenever I need it. So if you're in the market for a hand drill or any kind of tool, stop by the one place you need to stop, toolselect.com. You'll find a website full of tools and reviews from real people that actually use them, and not just some corporate website that's going to tell you what they want to tell you to sell the product. So definite spot for unbiased reviews for all your tool needs. Definitely go to toolselect.com. And I hope you've enjoyed my little review here. Thanks for taking the time to